Behind me is a Stroup Cabin, mid-1800s, just south of the Lincoln-Catawba line in a little place called Alexis. You know, one of the most interesting things about this cabin is that we didn't have a real good history on it. And during the festival several years ago, the docent Carolyn Walker called me and said that the original people that were born in this cabin were here. And I was immediately able to come over and talk to them. And they described the entire front room, about where they ate, about the kitchen in the back. They even talked at that time about the upstairs where the kids were moved out from the room that they normally slept in and instead of sleeping in the guest room, which only guests slept in, they were moved upstairs to pallets. So it was really interesting to talk to them. They had a lot of detailed information and remembered this particular cabin. And the greatest part was when Mr. Stroup decided to go upstairs in his 90s now. He's 90 years old, and his son really didn't want him to go, but he said he went anyway. As we look behind me, you can see when we moved it. It was on my birthday, July the 9th, 1998. Yeah. If you notice, as you walk to the back side of the cabin, you see the unattached kitchen where the food was brought actually into this house, and a settle table was moved out to the middle of the room, and the chairs were brought up all the way around for they made meals. Yeah. As you come immediately in the front door, on the right, the front room as it was called, was a bedroom for only guests. On the right you'll see a beautiful pencil post bed built in the 1880s by a fairly close resident in Cleveland County, built by P.D. Williamson. He was born in 1845. The corner table sitting on the left as you walk in the door is a pretty rare type of table. It's an end table or a washstand with a small area for a candle. On the right side of the room, along with the chamber pot, a good chest of drawers is noted on the right. On the chest of drawers is a rare hair curler with its original heating unit. It used kerosene to heat the curling iron. Walking through the front door on the left is a large chest of drawers, 2 over 4, 2 drawers up top, 4 larger drawers beneath, probably dating the 1850s. On it sits a Bible box with a Bible inside. There's a rope bed with a beautiful quilt and another washstand beside the fireplace. The little round table in the middle is accompanied by a rocking chair and a solid plank chair. The fireplace is rock, with a rock mantelboard. This is how I found it, and we built it as we originally found it. On the back wall you'll see a settle table, or sometimes called a bench table. The settle table actually saves space. When you needed it, you'd fold the top down, put the wooden pegs to hold it in place, and then after eating you'd fold the table back up and it would act as a bench to sit on. To the left is a clock and a small cupboard with a candle mold and pitcher. Right above the settle table is hanging a glass cupboard. And on the seat of the settle and underneath it are several children's pull toys. Entering the back right bedroom are 2 beds. One is a double, one is a single. Here's where the 2 boys and 1 girl in the Stroup family slept. There's a washstand on the right with clothing, books, and toys hanging up and sitting on several shelves. If there was company, the children were asked to go upstairs and sleep on pallets. No one ever slept in the guest room except guests. As we start upstairs, you notice the original fan-type staircase. There's a small table at the top with a small tape loom, which is actually like a large loom. It's actually used for smaller type of weaving, such as belts and sashes. There's also an herb drying rack with lots of dried herbs, mainly used downstairs in the kitchen, and during a festival sometimes it's moved over toward the herb garden. Further as you go down the wall is an early yarn winder, very delicate and very ornate. It's one of the most ornate ones I've ever seen. Then you'll see an interesting stand-up cupboard dating into the 1700s. One board, continuous all the way around, dovetailed. The whole top and bottom is dovetailed all the way around to the backboards and pegged also. Inside are peg holes with only one surviving peg for hanging clothing. As we go farther down the room, you'll see a quilting frame. And in the history of the Stroup family, they would have parties and quilting bees. On the back corner is an early blue 18th century corner cupboard. Also on the back wall is probably the largest blanket chest I've ever seen. We use it today for storage of quilts, blankets, ticks, pillows, etc. There's a spinning wheel, a small yarn winder. On the back wall in the middle is what we call a mule chest. There are several other names for it, like the special type of chest of drawers. The top actually lifts up. In this case, sometimes there are drawers that are actual drawers, but in this particular antique, the bottom drawers are fakes. A couple children's chairs, a sawbuck table, and on the back wall at the stairwell is an empty pine blanket chest.